And welcome back. Welcome to Battletoads on the Genesis. I was talking about that earlier. Like the wheel's gonna be back next week. We're gonna have the wheel be back for Halloween. So next week, Sunday or Monday, whichever day the stream comes back next week, we'll have the wheel. I did say the wheel is going to be a little bit simplified because some of the things that have been on it for a real long time, I'm no longer confident or enthusiastic about eating. Some of the items on there might be a little stale, so they're going to be retired. So it'll be a more limited variety, but it will be a full wheel, just with fresh stuff, and it'll be back. I gotta work real hard this weekend. I gotta get this room together so I can get it decorated for Halloween. Halloween? No, Halloween is in May as well, Greg. We always do. We do Halloween in May as a stream tradition. Because the logic of it is that some people say there's Christmas in July, and if that's true, then that must also mean there's Halloween in May. That's not my original thought. Other people have had that kind of thought before. But I like the excuse. I like the excuse to do a Halloween stream in the wrong time of year. Yeah, exactly. Yep, exactly. Like Christmas in July, Halloween in May. We've done that. This will be the third Halloween in May. We usually don't really do much of a celebration. It's usually just one or two nights. Doing it for the whole week is gonna be the biggest, I think, the biggest event we've done for it. Yeah, in as much as anything on the stream is an event. Calling anything I do on the stream an event is a major exaggeration. They're always our events are events in name only. No! Oh, I missed the one up. That's enough to make you want to reset right there. This game does look good. I like the 16-bit look. Usually I'm a much bigger fan of 8-bit art than I am of 16-bit art, and there are places where the NES game looks better than this one, but this game does look good. The thing is, even though the NES game is 8 bits and this is 16 bits, the NES game looks so good to begin with, there's really not that much of a difference. Like the Battletoads on the NES almost looks like a 16-bit game in a lot of places. It's a work of art. No, I missed the bird. In the past, for Halloween in May, we've done Resident Evil and Zombies Ate My Neighbors. I actually beat Zombies Ate My Neighbors last May. The one and only time I've actually beaten that game. That game is so hard. No, no! I was one hit away from the one up. No. It's so much easier to get one-ups from these birds, and yet I still manage to blunder them all the time. No. No, I can't believe I didn't get a single one from all those birds. I'm bad. I'm bad at games. I like that you can hit the bird for an extra hit even after you get the one up for some reason. No, it despawned. The games you play are sometimes just too jank for anyone. This is such a janky version of Battletoads. Oh yeah, thank you, Greg. We can do some of the achievement runs you have. You're not bad at games. I'm just exaggerating a little bit. I'm okay at games in reality. I think I do pretty all right. I don't first try a lot of stuff, but I've got a lot of stick-to-itness. This is bad. I messed up here real bad. I should not be losing lives to these guys. My favorite, I think the Castlevania run that I'm most proud of is the Deathless Whip Only run. That was actually harder than the Damageless run because of the death fight. Because with Damageless, I was still able to do things like cheese death with holy water. But without the holy water, boy, it's hard to not lose a life in that game. I do I like completing challenges, but the thing about that also though is like completing a challenge like that, like it's still not quite proof that I'm good at games, because when I'm able to do a challenge like that, the thing about it is I'm able to do it once. It's not like I could pick the game up and repeat that success every time afterwards. So like it's not necessarily as impressive as it sounds sometimes. What would be really great is if I could do it, you know, most of the time when I play the game. Toads are actually quite peaceful. Duck something, welcome in. I mean, a toad has never tried to battle me, that I recall. Even still, with only, I could never do that. Death of the Grim Reaper without holy water for me, would be impossible. Even back in the 80s when I played the game so often. It's rough. It's rough. Oh. What is going on? Pick it up. Whose side are you on, Battletoad? You can't duck. I was ducking and that thing still hit me. That's not right. Cool. You want to grab one of those snowballs? snowmen here have me a little bent out of shape, if you couldn't tell. I've never taken out this snowman without taking a hit. I still haven't figured him out yet. Like so much of this game. Grab the fly. Collision and responsiveness are just all over the place in this game. Like I just have so many issues with the Toad not doing what I want him to do. No! Ah! Now what am I doing? That can hit you through... Those things cannot hit you through the bars on the NES game. Or I've never had it happen. I actually got both of those flies. I would have never thought that possible. The commercials are intolerable. Wow. You cost me at least one life, but... Why would I ever want to do business with anyone who damages my Battletoads game? I did not think that we hit the ramp there. That's pretty miraculous. Alright, best stage in the game. Here we go. Part of my trouble with Snake Pit has been user error. If you need to not press any buttons when you're riding up on the snake when you get to a corner. If you're pressing a button, like if you try to jump or hold left or right, that makes you more likely to fall off of and through the snake. So whenever you're near a corner, you need to release all buttons. Is something I learned. Hey Nado, welcome in. How did Tears of the Kingdom finish up for you tonight? Thank you for joining us, my friend. Always love to have you here. Have you finished up Batman yet on the NES, Nado? Because I know you were working on that one for a while too. But I didn't catch whether you finished it. I know you started Contra as well. So be sure to check out Nado's stream, my friends. He's got a fantastic stream, and he's playing a lot of games I really like. Hey, Bill or Jeff, welcome in. Been a while, my friend. Great to see you. How are things going? Been busy? No worries, no worries. Gotten to the Joker, but can't seem to beat him yet, Nado says. I don't know if I made it that far on my playthrough or not. I've only played Batman once. I threw it on randomly one afternoon when I had no plans of playing it. And first impressions are really good, but I keep forgetting to finish it. It's one of those things, it's kind of like Brave Fencer Musashi, where I just honestly just forget that I started it. And when I sit down to plan the schedule for the week, when I do that, lately there've been no plans, but I just never remember. I never remember at a convenient time to go back and play it. Brave Fencer Musashi, I'm happy to forget because I don't like that game. But Batman, I really want to get back to. I need to focus up. I'm doing bad here. Hey, Rafnir, welcome in. A lot of people joining us now. Excellent. Hopefully things are well, Rafnir. Tears is good, more random roaming, mild progression, and Lionel death. They're brutal, aren't they? Wanted to stop by as I finally have some time and potentially some good news. Ooh. I just crushed my second interview with Capcom. I think you're looking at a future employee. Oh, I hope that's true, Bill or Jeff. That would be amazing. I love some Capcom games. Thing is, like with all companies, it's not just Capcom. But the thing is, I love games that they're not really interested in making anymore, mostly. Every now and then, though, Capcom did give us a Mega Man 11 not all that long ago. I still haven't played it yet, so, you know. But I did buy it. I supported it. But I haven't really walked my talk fully yet since I haven't gotten around to that one. But I did support it. And I'd buy Mega Man 12 if, you know, assuming it was a platformer and not something goofy. I'd buy Mega Man 12 on day one, too. Sorry, let me get, I missed a couple messages there. Let me see if I can get away from these snakes. And I can chat a little bit more freely. No! Alright, this is bad. I don't know the pattern. I don't know the pattern for the snakes when I missed that jump. Oh, I got so lucky there. Quick! What are you doing? No! I hate this game! Alright, I can stand here a moment. Oh my. Alright, let me catch up here. Thanks for the kind words, Frownie. No problem, Nado. They're easy. They're real easy to share when they're true. I have to wait for him to get back to me. I hope we hear good news, Jeff. That really is amazing. Is this the arcade version? This is the Genesis version, Rafnir. And it's pretty bad. I don't like the Genesis version all that much. It's way jankier than the NES game. Like, it looks great, it sounds great, but it doesn't play as good. There's a lot of issues, like collision is real bad, and responsiveness is pretty bad. I have issues of the Toad not doing what I want a lot of times. There's a lot of situations like where you should be in position for him to do like one of the special moves, like the big kick or the like two-handed punch, and just a regular punch comes out, or like he should grab something, but he punches instead, and there's just a lot of times where you like fall through platforms, and it's irritating. I really prefer the NES game. Maybe I can push for an Okami sequel. I still need to play that. That looks like a really good game. I know that jump is possible. Thank you for the stretch break. Let me try and get out of the stage and then we'll stretch. I'd much rather do it as a reward than while I still have the stress of this to come back to. There we go. That's more like it. Need to try Battletoads again at some point. I hope you do. Battletoads. Battletoads is one of the games that took me the longest to beat on stream. Like when you look at the I'll try and get them to work on more Mega Man for you guys. Oh, I hope this works out, Jeff. It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be nice to have a man on the inside. Someone that we know appreciates retro games. All right, so let's stretch a moment. Let's stretch a moment. I don't know if I muted myself before I said that or after. I meant to switch the camera and I hit the mute button instead. I think it'd be cool to work for a game company, but I'm not sure I have the skill set they'd be after, Nato says. I have I would bring nothing to the table. Oh, this was Vanilla Night Rail. Welcome in. Thank you for the stretch break. I misread who redeemed that. I give the credit to the wrong person. I'm sorry about that. Thank you for the stretch break. And welcome to the stream. Oh yeah, I didn't know Nato and Jeff. If you don't know one another, you're both Americans living in Japan. It's fine. I lurk in the dark of night. Hey, lurkers, welcome. I love having people to chat with, but you know, lurkers make the world go round too. Nice stretching, thank you. I like to take my stretch breaks real seriously. There's not a there's maybe not a lot of channel point redemptions that are great investments, but you get your points worth with the stretch break at least. Make sure you're taking a moment to stretch your legs as well, my friends. Rotate your ankles. Good luck with the game. Thank you, Vanilla. need a bit of luck. This game's a bit janky. It should be. It's way easier than the NES game for the most part. There's just some parts where it's like kind of broken that make it harder. I mean, it's not harder overall. It just there are places that make it tougher than it should be. But even with the jankiness, it's way easier than the NES game, I think. Those enemies die quicker in this version. A lot of things like the turbo tunnel moves way more slowly in this version. All of the auto scrollers are all way slower in this than they are in the NES. But when I die, I never feel like it's my fault. My lives are so low. Oh no. Rip the one credit clear. The game crashed. It's frozen. All I can do is pause. That's the only button that works. I hate this game. Battletoads on Genesis is trash. Of all the things to keep, why'd they keep the soft locks? If there was one part of NES Battletoads to throw away, you should have thrown away the soft blocks. Why? I'm mad. Oh yeah, there's an idea, Nato. If you want some advice you didn't ask for from someone who doesn't know what they're talking about, a motivator, like a way to get back into your study, is to make a channel point redemption for a Japanese study break on your stream. That's an idea I stole from Bel Air Jeff. Yeah, I have to restart from the beginning. I have to reset it now. After I'm done mourning for a moment. Alright. It's really not gonna, it's just not gonna unlock, so sitting here is not helping with anything. Let me go reset the console. One moment, my friends. The game took its own stretch break. I like sweet foods, Vanilla says. I don't have a super strong sweet tooth. I mean, I do, I do eat sweets, but I don't usually crave them. And I can go for, several days at a stretch without having anything that's particularly dessert or candy or sweet. But I'm always like if I get a craving for something, it's always a savory. Like I crave like meat or something salty or oily. Back to the darkness. Take care, Vanilla. I don't want to lose a life on stage 1. It's really hard to catch the health flies in this version. It's really hard to catch the health flies. I feel like there should be a secret if you try to go into this door here. I feel like that's a great place for a secret. It's maybe an obvious place for a secret, but I still think it's great. It can't be too obvious, because I didn't include one. I'm gonna lose a life. I'm gonna die. I'm so sad. Dying on stage 1 is so sad. I can't let this happen. We gotta restart. I've been soft-locked on NES Battletoads in 2 different ways. There's the rat race. Sometimes you just... Is it that the boss doesn't spawn? Sometimes it just doesn't let you go down to the next level in rat race. You just, like, the rat despawns or something. You can get stuck on that stage, and that's happened to me several times. I mean, like, it's a low percentage of the total times I've played the stage, but enough that it's always kind of a concern. And I got soft-locked on stage 8 one time because the camera scrolled up, but my Toad's positioning didn't, and so I was locked at the bottom of the screen where I kept dying and respawning, and it just bled all my lives away instantly. That wasn't quite the same thing, because when my lives ran out, I could still use a continue and restart the stage. I'm gonna die again on stage 1. I can't. I'm bad at Battletoads. The Rat Race soft lock is a true, like, there's nothing you can do but reset the game. The other one that happened to me, it's really just a terrible inconvenience. But you could technically keep going. No, why? Turn around. Why are you facing the wrong way? I don't even understand where these stones are coming from. Is the enemy throwing them at us? Why? That seems like a bad move. Just use the lasers. It's like that guy wants us to defeat him. I disagree. There's absolutely no reason you shouldn't come out of this stage with like 100 lives. I never do. I never do because I'm... because I'm the worst. But if you're not me, you should be able to get 100 lives from these birds. I seem to lose a life for at least every one I gain. No soft locks. I can hope. I made this. No. Well, at least we got one of them. I just swung through. This is the worst. This is the worst thing that's ever happened to me. What is that supposed to be? It kind of reminds me of the air conditioner from Brave Little Toaster. I mean, what is what I'm really perplexed by is what is what are those like plant-like things coming out of the side of the wall? Like trying to eat me. A whistle connected to a microwave. Well, I'm gonna lose some lives here. Whenever these, the one thing about these guys, I got lucky. You need to really not let them stack up, because if they stand next to each other, they become really hard to manage. That enemy looks like that 80s character. What's his name again? I don't know. This is gonna bother me. Dead. I'm telling I'm dead from those jumps. Ah, it's not responsive enough. Even if it were, I still might have missed that. I still might have missed that. I'm only on stage 3, and look at it, like, look at my score. I'm on stage 3 of, like, 12, and our score is already well over half maxed out. juggling. I think it's from juggling those birds. That really gives you a lot of points. Oh, I missed. It looks like Alf. Oh my. Alright, last stretch. The part is so much easier. I used to stream, Jeff says, I made it a points incentive for me to do 10 that Wani Kani cards. If I got below 70%, I used to punish myself with a spoon of wasabi. Good times. I did a lot better in the face of torment. Alright, that's the first time that snowman has failed to hit me. It won't make a tremendous difference to the level overall, but it's a morale booster. And then I took an extra hit from that thing. That shell right there is really tough to deal with. It's just timed. It's timed in such a way to really get you. Oh no! He skipped one of his attacks. He skipped one of his attacks just to throw me off. Never noticed that the sound that those whirlpools make sounds like my cell phone vibrating. You don't have to punch those health things, you just have to touch them. That's interesting. I thought you had to punch them to collect them. No one learns optimally if they're miserable. I disagree. I disagree. That obstacle was not on the same plane as me. Alright, let's see. Let's see how many dozens of times I die in the snake pit this time. It's really tough. So it's really tough at the end of the snake pit because the toad doesn't necessarily climb as quickly like as the snake moves. So like while you're climbing, the snake will surpass you. Soft lock incoming. No. See, it's situations like that that make it really intolerable. And lose a life, though. Alright, great. Hey, Shootswolf, thank you for the raid. Welcome in. Our Genesis Battletoads quest continues. Looks like Daisy tonight. I hope that treated you well. We had a pretty decent night with Jump King. It was mostly below average, but I did obtain a new PB that was better by a total of 1 jump. I made it 1 jump further in Jump King, so I'm calling that a successful night, and well, I don't know how this is gonna go. Hopefully we'll beat it. I made it up to stage 7 just a moment ago, and then I got soft locked. Well, the game crashed. But, you know, same difference. These snakes are intolerable. I don't know why. Quality programming at work. Oh, it's horrible. It's horrible. I don't know why these snakes are so much worse than the NES version. Like if you watch the tail end of the snake, like whenever there's a corner involved, the movement is not smooth at all. It just huge segments of it just suddenly disappear in giant chunks. It's awful. It is so ugly. The Genesis should be ashamed. The Genesis should hang its head in shame at being so badly outdone by the NES. I'm a Nintendo fan, admittedly, but like I'm willing to give credit where it's due and point out when I think the Genesis does a better job than the Super NES, but when it comes to Battletoads, the NES just humiliates the Genesis. Pretty much nothing around here has changed much. Still playing trash, I see. Stream's been pretty consistent. I've done things pretty much the same way for the whole lifespan of the stream. I play perhaps more trash than I did at the very start. Nothing really changes except I become more and more a caricature of myself. I play increasingly worse games and I become increasingly more stubborn with my blind policy. That's really all that changes. Is I just become worse as time goes on. I've become more and more monstrous. For the first couple months of the stream, I was a lot more open to the idea of people giving me help when I got stuck, but that's 100% gone away. Hey, it didn't freeze. I know the grind. The descent into sanity. Been there, done that. Hey, Laser, welcome in. Welcome to Battletoads. Hope you're having a fine night. I'm doing not super great. I'm trying to win, but I'm losing a lot of lives along the way. If we do win, it's going to be kind of a narrow finish. Okay, last section. Hey, thank you for the watch streak, Laser. Appreciate you joining us 3 nights in a row. And ex-streamer Bella Jeff could sympathize with you 100%. You play way more trash than I did, I must admit. Yeah, I've kind of become obsessed. I've kind of become obsessed with playing just the worst trash I can get my hands on. Sometimes it works out for me. Because I played Bubsy 3D because it's notorious trash, and I loved that playthrough. I had so much fun with Bubsy 3D. But then on the other hand, I played Dr. Evil Knievel because it was trash, and that was the worst experience of my life, so... It really could go either way. A lot of games that are infamously trash are never as bad as you'd think. Yeah. And a couple people, when I was in the lead up to Bubsy 3D, a couple people did speak up and say, it's not as bad as its reputation. And I ended up having to agree with them. I had a lot of fun with it. We did a 100% playthrough. I collected 100% of the optional collectibles. I even went back and did all the bosses damageless just for extra fun. I was captivated by that game. Mega Man DOS games weren't as bad as I expected. And Simon's Quest and Castlevania 64 weren't that bad either. Castlevania 64 is, of course it's not that bad. That game's beautiful. NES version came out first. That's where all the effort went. Later they figured to port this game to the Genesis, but it looks like they were slacking on that port, Greg says. I know Greg's a fan of Simon's Quest too. Simon's Quest is not terrible. It's not terrible. It's not. I mean, it's got real bad things about it, but it's not. It's far from pure trash. Z64 is beautiful. I agree. I do recall that you are among the elite that can see Castlevania 64 with the true vision. No. I just wasn't where I thought I was. I have that problem there a lot. Zelda 2 is also in that group. I like Zelda 2. I like Zelda 2. I like Zelda 2 more than Zelda 1. I don't think it's a better game, but I like it more. Zelda 1 I'm really conflicted by. My problem with Zelda 1 is, like, I'm really conflicted because I love the idea that a secret can be hidden under any bush or any rock, but I hate the tedium of having to burn every bush and bomb every rock. I think my big problem with that is I like that exploration can be rewarded unexpectedly anywhere, but they make it a little too painful to explore in Zelda 1 because bombs are kind of hard to come by, and only being able to check one bush per screen at a time is really rough. If exploration was a little bit more convenient, I could dig Zelda 1 a little bit more. Also, the thing is, like, Zelda 1 is so combat heavy. Like, so many of the dungeon rooms are just, here's a ton of enemies to wipe out. And I'm not really crazy about Zelda 1 combat. Like, it's not a lot of fun to me, so... Zelda 2 combat's not great either. It's sometimes great, but toward the end, some of those enemies are just so impossible. You just have to run past them all. The game was made for you to sign up with Nintendo Power. Well, a real complaint I've heard about Castlevania 64 is the camera control. Camera can be not your friend in Castlevania 64, but the camera is bad in pretty much every game from that era. And it's not... You can learn to manipulate the camera in most situations. I think most people that beat those classic games used to share secrets with each other through word of mouth. Someone bought this the strategy guide and then told all their friends about the secrets. Oh, thank goodness that wasn't a one-hit kill at least. No, I'm gonna die. Why is this so hard? There we go. Oh. I should have been mashing the jump button. I disagree. I disagree. This is absolute trash. How did I get flattened into a coin? I was above the guy. I hate this game. I hate this game so much. I hate everyone that worked on this game and everyone who looks like someone who worked on this game. Look at your score, though. Oh, it might be. Is it maxed out? Are we maxed out? I think we are. Well, that's just proof that it's not me. It's just proof that it's not my fault. I'm clearly great at this game. I got a maximum score. No, I went the wrong way. There we go. I was thinking about that gear section. I was like, alright, this is my section. The only way I'm going to lose here is user error. I know what I'm doing. I don't want to say anything out loud, though, because if I did, I would have definitely died. Oh no. Oh no, I might be dead. Do I go for the 1-up or the checkpoint? We go for both. Victory! Let's go! Yuck. Yay, I didn't hit my head on the wheel. Well, at least we got the 1-up. You ever play Streets of Rage 4, Frownie? No, I've only played Streets of Rage 1, and only once. I sampled it on the stream one time. It was better than I expected it to be, but I just have never gone back to it. I'm not the biggest beat 'em up guy in the world. Beat 'em ups are a genre that I don't really gravitate toward. But I do play them. I do play them sometimes. Like we did Double Dragon. I've done some of the Turtles beat 'em ups. This game has beat 'em up elements, but I would argue this is more of a platformer than a beat 'em up. There's more platforming levels than there are beat 'em up levels, by far. You gotta play 2, that soundtrack. I'm open to them. I'm open to the Streets of Rage games. I'm just not at all in a hurry for them, so. I'm open to Final Fight as well. That's another, like, beat 'em up that I'm like... think I'd be willing to check some of those out at some point. There's a few Batman games I'd like to do. Zergling prefers the Streets of Rage 1 soundtrack. Do I have Streets of Rage 2? I don't know if I own that one. I have some flash carts now though, so my world is a lot more open than it used to be. I've got a flash cart. I've got flash carts for the Genesis, the Famicom, the Super NES, and the N64. They're not like the newest, like most top of the line flash carts. They're at least a generation removed from the newest ones, but they've served me really well so far. Yeah, EverDrives. I basically just saved subs and bits for forever, and then when I had enough, I bought a whole bunch of EverDrives all at once. So thank you, everyone who's contributed to the stream. You really helped me out. Big thanks. Playing on original hardware with EverDrives is the way to go. It's nice. It's let me do some pretty fun things, and I got, I've got big plans. The Famicom one is really nice. The thing about it, so I switched to, I have the Famicom AV, and I switched to that when I got the EverDrive. I got the Famicom shell because my like toaster style NES is somewhat temperamental, and I really like using the Famicom, but it is kind of a shame that like it's not convenient to use my physical NES carts anymore. Not that there's much of a practical difference, it's just like when you have them, you want to use them, right? Nado's heading out. Gonna drop a lurk and head to dinner. Good luck with the toads. Thank you, Nado. Always a pleasure to have you join us, my friend. I hope you have a fantastic dinner, and I'm sure I'll see you again. Probably as soon as at least as soon as your next stream. Uh-oh. Yeah, you can play the English games with the Famicom. There's no difficulty there. It runs the US games. It should not be losing these lives, and seeing an empty heart up there seeing that heart up there empty breaks my heart, but I just can't. There we go. Gotta go too. Work today. Need some sleep. See it. Wow, it's way later than I thought it was. It's almost 5 a.m. Where'd the time go? No, I don't have any adapter or anything like that, Jeff. It's just just load them onto the SD card and. Oh, do you mean could I play my NES carts on the Famicom? There are adapters for that. But I'm not using my physical NES carts anymore. I just put the files on the EverDrive. Oh. No, they just work. There's no like region locking or anything. I think I'm gonna fail. It's gonna be close, but I'm gonna fail. Actually, it's not even gonna be close. It wasn't even close. I don't have access to the American consoles here. Thinking about starting a retro game room with Japanese consoles. when I lived in Korea, I didn't bring any of my consoles with me when I moved. I just had them in storage, and well, by storage I mean I had them taking up space in my relatives' houses. But I just ended up duplicating a lot of the stuff that I owned. I bought a Super Famicom and then duplicated some of my favorite games over there. I did keep everything when I moved back to the States, though, which was bulky and expensive. Excuse me. Hey, new synth, welcome in. No, I was an English teacher. After I graduated college, I got a job teaching English in South Korea for a couple years. Yeah, it was a pretty cool gig. It was a lot of fun living over there. We had a lot of work. It was a lot of work, but it was a lot of fun. My same career path with Japan, Jeff says. I'd want to play the US versions more likely than not. Jeff says, yeah. So I mean, if you had EverDrives, like you can get the EverDrives. You should be able to play. You should be able to play the US games just fine. If you had like a Famicom and a Super Famicom or something. Oh, I'm doing bad. I was buying the actual carts. When I lived over there, but all my favorite games are games that don't require any text anyway, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what language the text is in for stuff, you know, like Yoshi's Island and Super Ghouls and Ghosts. Doing bad again. It's a little easy to get hung up on the wrong direction for me on the because I'm not used. The Genesis like has this like disc D-pad, and when I slide my thumb from one position to another, I'm getting hung up on the diagonals. It's all my fault, but the turning in this is a little bit different than the NES version. It feels like you have to. It feels like you have to change your direction later in this one around the curves. Let's go. Last stage. I barely worked as an English teacher in Japan. Easiest job I've ever had. Yeah, it wasn't, I mean, it wasn't a lot of work. It wasn't a lot of work doing the job, but we had, like, we only had one day off a week, and we only had 2 holidays a year. Like, it was... That's what I mean by it was a lot of work. It was an easy job. We just had to be there a lot. Maybe have a Dreamcast and PlayStation 1 with a nice Sony CRT. That was the one thing I didn't pick up when I was in Korea. I never had a CRT for my my gaming setup. And I really don't like trying to play retro consoles on flat screens. I've never had a great experience with it. Fighting this guy is so annoying in this version. He's bad in the NES version too, but I don't know. There's just something about him in this one. I can't get a grasp on it. So our odds of beating the game are really high right now. I'm probably jinxing myself by saying that. I think I'm going to game over, but I haven't used any continues yet, and you get a lot of lives in this version when you use a continue. I think you get 5 lives. So we've got really strong odds of beating this. But I am going to be kind of annoyed that it's not a 1 credit clear, so I might still keep playing Battletoads on Genesis for a while. Even if we beat it tonight, we'll probably do one more. We'll probably do another run at it. Not tonight, but soon. We'll probably play through it one more time because I can do. I think I can do this game in one credit. Yeah, we made it. We made it to this stage in one credit, so I only have to do a little better. What was that? That enemy showed up. We hit him once. He glitched. He hit us. He got back into position, and then he just ran away. I cannot wrap my head around what that green enemy was up to. That's some of the most perplexing behavior I've ever seen. Why'd you do this to yourself? Take the win and throw it in the trash. I like my victories to be fairly decisive. I don't like when the game has something it can hold over my head. The game doesn't have arms. Alright. Rip the 1cc. We knew that was coming, though. Now we'll get our victory, at least. He says, completely jinxing himself. What's going to be really bad is when I get the 1 credit clear and I say, well, we got to run credit clear, but I need to do it again because one of our hearts was empty. And I'd really like to get a 1cc with a full row of hearts. I don't want to do this game deathless, though. That will never happen. I'd like to do NES Battletoads deathless someday, but I don't care about this game enough. What is happening? I think it's glitched. I think the game is broken. Okay, there we go. I mean, I know the game is broken, but... Hey, my jump is not happening. There we go. When I don't need it. Can we get a jump? There we go. No, I was in the wrong place. Oh, I saved it. Cool. I don't think that kind of save is possible in the NES version. No, I'm so bad at the timing on those. That's interesting. The timing of those green platforms is different depending on whether it's your first life or a respawn, because they spawn in, they load in differently. That's This platform is annoying with this green guy here. Let's go, final boss. Oh. This is tedious. This is a little different than the NES version. It's the same thing, but it's like, it's slower and weird. It's a lot easier. It's a lot easier. Okay, let's go. That's the game, my friends. There's our first victory. What an abrupt ending. Alright, well that's it, my friends. We're done for the night. I hope you've enjoyed our time together, and thank you for being here. I feel underwhelmed. I feel underwhelmed. But we'll play this again. I'm not exactly sure when. We could play it as early as tomorrow night. If I first try Splatterhouse 2, our challenge run is Splatterhouse 2, and we've got 2 extra hours on the stream, we could play this again tomorrow night and get that 1 credit clear. That's probably not going to happen, but just whenever we have time, I'll throw it on. Or maybe sometime in early June, I'll schedule it for the second half of a stream. Because I want to get that, I want to get that one. I want to do this game in 1 credit. We can do it. And then we'll retire it, and I'll never play it again, because NES Battletoads is so much better. What about 50 video games included? Not going to do that one. I'm holding off on that one for now. Tomorrow night we're going to do Jump King and Jump King and Splatterhouse 2. And then we'll see if we have time for anything else. Just sitting through an ad here, and then we'll get our raid moving along. I'm gonna try and start. I'm gonna try and start up around 11 p.m. tomorrow night. But you know me, sometimes I run a little late, and especially with our dog being a little ill. Hopefully he'll be better by tomorrow, though. But my day tomorrow is probably gonna be very messed up. Because I'm gonna have to get up every 2 hours to take care of him. I'm gonna send this over to Mr. Suffer. Suffer's playing Battletoads on NES. Stream is titled Deathless First Playthroughs. So I don't know if he's I don't know how to understand that title. I don't know if he's trying to beat it deathless for the first time, or if he's I don't know what he's up to. He'll just have to tell us. Suffer does all kinds of great retro stuff. I think he's trying to work on. I think he's trying to beat every NES title as well. Not a strictly family-friendly stream though. Just heads up about that. There's mature language and adult conversation topics in this direction. If that's a deal breaker for you, you've been warned. But if you come along, very high energy. And that's it for us for tonight, my friends. Jump King and Splatterhouse 2 tomorrow. Next week on the stream is Halloween. We'll play a ton of Addams Family games and make a very first attempt ever at Friday the 13th on the NES at the very end of the week. So those are the things to look forward to. In June, we're going to play a lot of trash as well. I'm gonna try and split the stream. We'll put some good stuff in there too, but I got a set of summer games lined up for us that we're gonna try and chip away at in June that are gonna be pretty janky. Some Wii shovelware. So that's what's coming up. Thank you very much for your company tonight, my friends. Be well until I get to see you again, and hopefully that will happen very soon. For tonight, we're all out of things to do. It's time to head out. Let's go on an adventure.